Hillary Clinton has just finished her third national television interview since launching her presidential campaign nearly 5 months ago, sitting down with Andrea Mitchell on MSNBC. The interview comes amid ongoing controversy over her limited media availability, which fuels speculation that she might have something to hide from the public, a point that Mitchell was not afraid to press.
Does it concern you that people don't trust your answers on this? I mean, there was a Quinnipiac, and I know this poll was everyone, Republicans and Democrats, but the first words that came to mind when asked about you were liar, untrustworthy, crooked. How does that make you feel?
Well, it certainly doesn't make me feel good, but I am very confident that by the time this campaign has run its course, people will know that what I've been saying is accurate, and I will have a chance to do that in front of the entire world with the Congressional Committee hearing.
Howard Kurtz is a Fox News media analyst and host of Media Buzz here on Fox News Channel. Howie, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Molly.
So what did you think of this? That we just had a little taste of some of the sound there from that interview, and it talked about a really key issue and one of her biggest problems right now, the issue of trust. How do you think she did?
That trust gap, those words that Andrea Mitchell read, liar, crooked, and so forth, that's the reason Hillary Clinton was doing her first English language national TV interview in 2 months today to try to combat that, because it's been crippling her campaign. And while the former First Lady took a much softer tone, she's no longer airily dismissing this as nonsense, as some of her campaign did earlier, she had a tendency to retreat to narrow legalistic defenses, as she has done in the past, while being more sympathetic that these are legitimate questions.
Yeah, another big question that was raised here is just, is she sorry? Take a listen.
Are you sorry? Do you want to apologize to the American people for the choice you made?
Well, it wasn't the best choice, and I certainly have said that. I will continue to say that, as I've also said many times. It was allowed, and it was fully above board. The people in the government knew that I was using a personal account. But it would have been better if I'd had 2 separate accounts to begin with, and certainly I'm doing all I can now to try to be as transparent.
You know, she says it would have been better. She also said that at the end of the day, I'm sorry this has been confusing to people. What do you think of her response on this? Is it a real apology?
Hillary Clinton just can't bring herself to say, I'm sorry, I screwed up, I shouldn't have done it. It's just not in her DNA. A lot of people took it the wrong way when she said later in that MSNBC interview, I'm sorry if it's confusing to people, which strikes some ears as, I'm sorry if it's too complicated for you people to understand it. And, you know, it's the perfect setting for her, because Andrea Mitchell has covered her for more than 20 years. She's comfortable with her. It's not at a press conference where people are shouting questions, and yet she only would give half an inch. She couldn't even give a full inch. She continues to stick to the notion that, yes, you know, it was not the best choice, but I followed the rules and all of that. And I just don't think she accomplished her goal of putting this to rest, especially since she does these interviews so infrequently, Molly, that the tension builds up and the unanswered questions build up. I mean, Andrea didn't even get to the former State Department aide who's pleading the Fifth, and that would have been interesting to hear the former Secretary of State on.
Yeah, and she's also criticized for sounding, you know, lawyerly and being so careful about what she said. Here's what she has to say actually about that.
The President of the United States does have to be careful about what he or she says. You know, I do know sometimes people say, well, I'm careful about what I say. That's because for more than 20 years, I've seen the importance of the President of the United States, the leader not only of our nation, but of the world, having to send messages that will be received by all kinds of people. Loose talk, threats, insults, they have consequences.
Maybe it seems like a little dig there towards the other side of the aisle, but your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it is true that a presidential candidate has to watch her or his words, but at the same time, there's another reason that she chooses her words so carefully, sometimes legalistically, which is she's very wary of the press. She has been since the 1990s, since she was First Lady. She fears that if she gives any quarter, that her opponents will pounce on that, and so that's been a problem for her, and she just can't seem to fully relax in front of a TV camera.
Howie, we know you have a big interview coming up on Media Buzz. We want to give you a chance to tell us all about it.
Yeah, I've got a wide-ranging sit-down with Carly Fiorina, one of the several presidential candidates I've been able to interview on Media Buzz. And I asked her, speaking of Hillary Clinton, why Carly Fiorina had some words of praise for the former First Lady some years ago. Here's her response.
She is very hardworking. She's very intelligent. I think she is empathetic. She's very focused. She has dedicated her life to public service. All that's true. And she's lied. She's lied about Benghazi. She's lied about her emails. She's lied about her server. And I do not think we can permit her to become president of the United States.
Interesting pivot there, as you saw.
Yes, indeed, definitely. She switched gears there midway through. But wow, very tough, very tough. Thank you so much, Howie Kurtz. We really appreciate your interview today. And be sure, of course, to catch Media Buzz. That's this Sunday. Watch Howie's interview with the Republican presidential candidate, Carly Fiorina. Media Buzz airs Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Fox News Channel.